Yes, sir. We are in the building on a Friday night. Hit the horn for the people. That's right. That's right. That's right. That's right. It is GunzPicks. It is the Breakin Ankle Show. We are back. We are back. We are back. And we are here to give you the plays that pay the bills. And if you've been following along, we went 4-2 yesterday, and I just dropped them with a quick video. Wasn't a real show play, but I'm considering it a show play because I dropped them on all the social media platforms at GunzPicks. 4-2 plus 2.7 units yesterday. 45, 36, and 2 plus 8.3 units. Baby, hit the yeah. Yeah, that's what we like, don't we? So please, that's all I ask you to do is like and subscribe to the channels. If you go to the YouTube channel at the GunzPicks _ channel, you will find me and you will find all the videos, all the content that comes on there. Of course, you can find me on Instagram. You can find me on TikTok at GunzPicks and, of course, X. If you're following along here, and we already got the Yaz in the building. EQ joining us here live tonight. And then we go, Sox Nation goes, what time tomorrow, Guns? Tomorrow. Thanks for setting me up for that one. All right, Saturday, we're going to do shows, okay? We got 2 shows. We're going to do the Breakin Ankle Show. That's going to be 11 o'clock a.m. East. And we're going to break down the early plays, anything from 12 to 4. And then I'm going to break down the late night bangers. And we're talking about anything from 8 o'clock to whenever the West Coast games go to midnight, if it is in Hawaii or something like that. So, yeah, I'm going to do 2 shows tomorrow, late night bangers and the Breakin Ankle Show. Breakin Ankle Show will start at 11 a.m. East. So that is when you're going to see the show tomorrow. But let's get into the plays today. We have stuff cooking here at the 7 o'clock hour. We're going to start here with Fairfield versus Marist. It is McCann Arena, Poughkeepsie, New York. And we're going with Fairfield on this one. Fairfield money line plus 100, 1.5 unit play. Let me tell you why. Listen, you break these 2 teams down. Marist has a great defense, 83rd in defensive efficiency, 33rd in defending shots, 273rd in allowing opponents to the free throw line, however. So they are a little bit aggressive, and they do create fouls. On the other side for Fairfield, 127th in offensive efficiency, 62nd in field goal percentage, 11th on the three-point line, so they can shoot behind the arc, and they're also pretty decent on the free throw line, 42nd in the country in terms of free throw percentage. Marist on the offensive side, that is their weak point, 316th in offensive efficiency, 163rd in field goal percentage, and they're bad at turning over the ball. They're 261st in the country in turnover percentage. But they're going against a bad defense for Fairfield, 240th in defensive efficiency. But they don't allow a lot of people on the free throw line. That's going to help them out here. 29th in the country as far as allowing teams to go to the free throw line. Then you got to look at Fairfield on this one. Has excelled versus Marist in the past, 5-1 straight up in ATS in the last 6 meetings, including the first matchup where Fairfield dominated Marist, 82-61. And then you got the line correlation on this one, okay? Line is basically the same as it was from the first game. So if the line hasn't changed much and you got Marist at home, you would think there's going to be a significant line movement. There's not. I think we got a good one here with Fairfield, especially you got the history correlation, the line correlation, and you just have the better team statistically here. Give me Fairfield, money line, plus 100 as my first play, 1.5 unit banger, baby. And Archipelago, I don't know if I'm going to see this right. Archipelago. I think I said that right. First time joining the chat. Love to see you, buddy. Love me some action. We're not talking about the Mac. We're talking about the Mac. That's what we're talking about on this one. But let's go into the next play. Let's talk some other ones here. Let's go to Stenton Hatters. Going on the road to North Florida here. Osprey against the Osprey here. 7 p.m. tip. UNF Arena, Jacksonville, Florida is the spot. And we're going to go with North Florida on this one. Money line, minus 130, 1.5 unit play. Look at the Stetson offense, 113th in offensive efficiency, going against the defense of North Florida. That's 314th in defensive efficiency. Not the greatest defense, but on the offensive side, decent. 178th in offensive efficiency, 73rd in field goal percentage, and 14th in the country in making free throws. I always say this to you guys. I love good free throw shooting teams when I make picks. You have one here with North Florida. But Stetson, not so bad on the free throw line themselves. A little bit nervous on this one. 35th in the country as far as free throw percentage. But the Stetson defense is bad as well. 319th in defensive efficiency, 265th in defending shots, 265th in defensive rebounds. And then you have Stetson. They have won their last 3 road games, but all as favorites. When they're a single-digit dog this season, it's a different situation. 1-4 straight up in ATS this season as in a single-digit away dog. Then you got UNF. They're on a 3-game losing streak at home. But before that, they were 10-2 straight up. So there'll be a lot of motivation in this game because it is their last game at home this season. It is senior night. There is a motivational factor there. You've lost your last 3 home games. You would think this North Florida is going to step up in this situation. And the line is telling you that's probably what's going to happen here. It's also a revenge game for North Florida. North Florida lost to Stetson 75-74 in the narrowest of margins of 7.5-point road dogs. And now you see them as a 2.5-point favorite, but we're taking them on the money line. We're just taking them to win. It is senior night, North Florida Osprey. You got the revenge factor. You have the significant live movement from game A to game B. Close loss for that matter. There's a chip on their shoulder. 3 straight losses at home. Won't be 4. Give me North Florida here. Money line, minus 130. 1.5 unit play, baby. Hit the horn. And seeing some guys joining up on the Instagram. I do have Instagram Live going as well. And TikTok, I don't know how to work that on the live scene, but we got, especially on StreamYard. So I got Instagram, I got YouTube, I got Twitter going. And get in the chat. Let's talk some ball, baby. Let's talk anything that's going on the Friday slate. Just getting into some leans on Saturday. Haven't gotten to the full card, so bear with me if I don't know anything about the Saturday card. However, let's talk Friday. I will be ready for that one. All right, next play on the board as we take a breath. We're going Kennesaw State. The Owls going to Queens University. And I ain't talking about Queens, New York. I'm talking about Charlotte, North Carolina, Curry Arena. 7 p.m. East is the tip. And we're going with Queens on this one. Money line, the Royals, not the Kansas City Royals, the Queens Royals, 1.5 unit banger on the money line, minus 122. Let's talk about it. There's a little bit of a mismatch here with the Kennesaw State offense versus the Queen defense. The Queen defense is bad, 321st in defensive efficiency, 338 in defending shots, 241st in defensive rebounding. But they're going against a Kennesaw State team that's 195th in the country in offensive efficiency, 149th in field goal percentage, and they're 309th in the country in free throw percentage. Bad free throw shooting team means bad at covering spreads. Then you got Queens on this one on the offensive side, 201st in offensive efficiency, but they're going against the defense here with Kennesaw State, 291st in defensive efficiency, 296 in defending shots, and 268 in the country in defensive rebounds. I mean, we're looking at stats here that are just 2 bad teams playing each other, but I'm just picking a winner. I'm picking Queens, and here's why. Fading Kennesaw State is a moneymaker. They're a pure fade this season. 4-9 straight up, 1-12 ATS in the last 13 games. 2-6 straight up, 1-7 ATS in the last 8 road games. It is a revenge game, too. You have that factor plugged in there. Queens lost to Kennesaw State 80-77 to 7.5-point road dogs. Now the line is flipped to make them a favorite here at minus 1.5, and minus 122 on the money line seems like a decent price on this one. Also, Queens on a little bit of a streak, 4-1 straight up in ATS in the last 5 road games, 10-3 straight up in their last 13. And also, you got to look at the matchup data on this one. Queens covered the last 3 meetings versus Kennesaw State. This is a bad team at Kennesaw State. They can't cover spreads. They can't get winners. It's time to take Queens University Royals on this one. Give it to me all day long. Queens, money line, minus 122, 1.5 unit banger, baby. As we talk to the chat, I see my guy Pete in the building. Hit the horn. Guns, speaking of media outlets, should we be all X, TikTok, etc.? I don't want to miss anything. Let me tell you, I'm trying to get every avenue. If you've already got me on Twitter, you get everything. You see all my clips, you see all my live videos, you see everything. The YouTube stuff is just something that I'm trying to grow. These are new audiences. YouTube, Twitter, and all these other social media junkets have different niches. I'm trying to reach everybody. I don't know if I'm doing it right, but I'm trying. So you don't have to follow me anywhere. If you follow me on X, you're good. You got everything. But if you want to follow me on Instagram because you look at that in the morning when you're taking a dump, I don't care. That's where you just be somewhere so you can see all the content that's coming out. Listen, I post, I notify, I do whatever it takes. You're on X, you're good. You stay where you are. Michael, always in the building, always has plays to give the people too. What up, my guy? Let's go. Yeah. That's right. As we take a sip of the potion. A reminder, it is March. We're going to be hitting conference tournament action too, and it's going to be a fantastic thing. But we got to get into the plays here before we hit the 7 o'clock tip. We're going to talk a little Old Dominion versus Georgia Southern on this one. Georgia Southern at home, 7 p.m. East. WS Hanner Fieldhouse, Statesboro, Georgia is where Georgia Southern is home. And we're going to take the favorite on this one. Georgia Southern minus 4.5, 1.5 unit play versus this Old Dominion team that is in shambles. And I'll get to that in a second. But you look at the stats on this one, Georgia Southern, 210th in offensive efficiency, but they're going against a defense that's 204th in defensive efficiency, 224th in defending shots, and 279th in defensive rebounding. Decent foul shooting team for Southern. They're right just above the middle of the pack, 175th in free throw percentage and 125th in three-point percentage. So they hit some key factors in there that are just above what ODU is. But on ODU's offense on the other side, terrible. 304th in offensive efficiency, 289th in field goal percentage, and they're 339th in the country in free throw percentage. They don't make their free throws. This is a bad team here, folks. And granted, the defense for Georgia Southern isn't great, 342nd in defensive efficiency, but they're going against an ODU team that just from a mental standpoint is going through some things. They're having coaching issues. Their best player got kicked off the team in January, and this team is absolutely falling apart. I'll get to some spread ATS stuff in a second, but this is just a bad overall team. And ODU really doesn't have anything to play for. They're dead last in the Sun Belt. They're going against a Georgia Southern team that's sitting right around the middle, so they're playing for a little bit of seeding, so there is a motivational factor there. And then you got to look at last time these two teams meet. They met on January 27th. Georgia Southern did win the game 76-70. They were 5-point road dogs in this one. Now the line is flipped to make them minus 4.5. That's a big line swing from game A to game B, and I think it's just because, well, ODU is just dead. They don't care. They're just trying to get to the end of the season and then do some turnover as far as coaching and players or what have you. Then you got to look at Georgia Southern, 4-0 ATS in the last 4 games, 4-1 ATS in the last 5 home games. ODU on the road is 1-11 straight up, 3-9 ATS this season, and they're 4-15 ATS as a dog this season. So they're sitting here. Not a take team, not a buy team whatsoever. It may sound a little square, it may seem a little public, but quite frankly, who's betting on these games but us sharp people? Give me Georgia Southern here, minus 4.5. That's a 1.5 unit banger, baby. As we take a sip of the potion, hit the 3-wheel motion, we need to take a breath, reassess, relax, and get to the next game on the board because I'm just firing shots today. I'm not just firing one shot. I got the machine gun out today on a Friday. I got the machine gun out here on a Friday. And I'm going to go with a quick hitter on this one. Florida Golf Course going on the road versus Jacksonville. 7 p.m. is the tip. Historic Swisher Gymnasium, Jacksonville, Florida is the spot. Florida versus Florida. And we're going to go to the Gulf Coast on this one. Money line plus 102 as a 1.5 unit play. Listen. Statistically, Florida Golf Course, Jacksonville, between the offense and the defense, a good matchup there. 217 in offensive efficiency, Florida Golf Coast is 123rd in field goal percentage, 146 in offensive rebounding. They're great shooting the three behind the arc, 61st in the country in three-point percentage. But they're going against the defense for Jacksonville. Like I said, 216th in defensive efficiency, 250th in defending shots, but not a good rebounding team. 252nd in the country in defensive rebounding. So a couple key statistics on that one. Gives the edge to Florida Gulf Coast on this one. Jacksonville's offense, too, absolutely terrible. 302nd in offensive efficiency, 266th in field goal percentage, and they turn over the ball a lot, very sloppy. 323rd in the country in turning over the ball, and they're 42nd in the country in offensive rebounding, probably because they missed so many damn shots with that field goal percentage of theirs. And then you got the trends on this one. Florida Gulf Course, 7-2 ATS in the last 9 games, 5-1 ATS in their last 5 games overall. And then you have Jacksonville 2-5 ATS as a favorite, and they've lost 3 out of the last 4 games overall. Then you got Florida Ghosts. When they meet up with Jacksonville, they absolutely dominate historically. 9-1 straight up, 8-2 ATS in the last 10 meetings, and they've won and covered the last 4 versus Jacksonville here. I think this is a perfect spot to take the Gulf Coast here as a dog. I think they're 1.5-point dog, but we're going to take them to win the game. Plus 102. Give it to me all day long. Florida Gulf Coast money line plus 1.5 unit banger, baby. And we get there. Peter's got some comments. Said guns fired up. Friday happy hour extended low. Salute, my friend. Let's go. Guns everywhere. So I gave you 5 plays, and I will recap at the end of the show. But before I give you my last play of the game and my best bet, for that matter, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button of the GunzPicks YouTube channel, and support whatever I am doing, because I give you this stuff for the low, low price of $0.00, and all I ask for is you to click one button with a thumb going like this, and I actually hit a little subscribe button that's up in the corner. I need to build this thing up to the moon. I'm trying to get some traction here. You need to let the people know who the hottest cappers are. And if you're checking my year-to-date since the inception of the GunzPicks channel show, 45, 36, and 2, plus 8.3 units on college basketball alone. Not to mention what I've done in the NFL. Not to mention what I've done historically in college football. We had a down year. Didn't matter. We're still plus 60 units this year. We were down 20 this year, but we were plus 80 in the last 3 years. We're cooking, always making money, and we give it out for free. I don't charge anybody. So let's go. Support me, the channel, and everything that I'm doing all over the social media junkets. And, of course, EQ says kaboom. Let's go. Archipelago. I wish I could say your name. Cheers, my friend. Cheers. All right. You've waited long enough, my friends. Peter says, do it, guys. Guns are the best. He knows. He's a true gun disciple. He's been with us for years. He's always in the chat, and he's always cashing tickets left and right. All right. We end this off with a little thing that we like to call best bet. That's right. It's best bet time. We're going to get out of the mid-majors. We're going to go play a little bit in the A10. We're going to go to Dayton, Loyola, Chicago. 7 p.m. Gentile Arena, Chicago, Illinois. Get yourself a dog in Chicago. And we're going with the dog on this one, dog of the day as well. Loyola, Chicago, plus 1.5, and it's a 2-unit banger. That's right. I said 2. The first 2-unit banger in the inception of the GunzPicks channel show. You know I love this play a lot. Listen, Dayton's good. I can't say that enough. 16th in offensive efficiency, 12th in field goal percentage, 137th on the free throw line. They're going against a Loyola defense that is 38th in defensive efficiency, 28th in defending shots, and 28th in defensive rebounds. Good defensive team here for Loyola Chicago. And they're going against a Dayton team that's great on the offensive side, but I think the matchup works perfectly for them, and especially if they're just sitting here as a dog. On the offensive side of the ball, a little bit of a drop-off for Loyola. 183rd in offensive efficiency, 80th in field goal percentage, 290th in offensive rebounding, and they're not good on the free throw line. So I am supporting a bad free throw shooting team, but I think at home in this situation, it's going to work perfectly. They're going to be super motivated. Defensive side for Dayton, 61st in defensive efficiency. But they're 213th in defensive rebounding. So there is a little bit of it could be a little bit of battle on the board, second chance opportunities here for Loyola. And then you got to look at Dayton's production. Significant drops here on the offensive side of the ball when they hit the road. They put up 69.8 points per game on the road, but you check what they do at home, 77.8 points per game at home. So it kind of fluctuates the numbers a bit. They're a bad scoring road team. They're also 1-3 straight up in ATS in the last 4 road games. All is short favorites. They're a short favorite again. And every time they get in this situation, they drop the bag. And that's why we're taking Loyola Chicago here. Then you look at the numbers for Loyola Chicago, 72.5 points per game at home. On the offensive side, defense only gives up 60.9 points per game versus giving up 75.2 points per game on the road. Better home team on the defensive side of the ball. This defense is going to suffocate this Dayton team today. And then you got to look at Loyola Chicago, 13-2 straight up at home this season, 6-2 ATS in the last 8 home games. There's a reason for that because they play exceptional defense at home. They're going against a Dayton team that everybody loves right now. They're a ranked team. And then you've got a short dog to boot with this Loyola team. There's a reason why it's a short line, because I think Loyola Chicago is going to win this game outright. So you might as well take a little bit on the money line. They're a short dog for a reason. Everybody's going to be jumping on Dayton because they're a ranked team, ranked 21st in the country. Loyola is unranked. So you got to be taking this one. This is reason why it's a 2-unit play. Loyola Chicago, plus 1.5. A little Salt Bay on the money line, plus 1.5. 2-unit banger, baby. Let's go. Hit the horn. Woo! 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 Ooh, I'm feeling a little Ric Flair today. And Michael says, with you, with Loyola. Let's cash, baby. And then if Sox Nation says, I live in Chicago. Loyola hasn't beat anyone good. Loyola beats up on bad teams. We shall see. We shall see. We shall see. You say then they should have been a plus 6.5 point dog at home against Dayton if that was the case. They're not. They're plus 1.5. There's a reason. Line tells the story. Always, always, always. Anyways, those are the picks. Those are the plays. Best bet. We're going to go Loyola Chicago plus 1.5, 2-unit banger. Fairfield money line plus 100, 1.5-unit play. We're going to go North Florida Osprey money line minus 130. We're going to go Queens University Royals money line minus 122. And then we're going to go Georgia Southern minus 4.5, 1.5-unit. And then we're going to end it off here. Florida Gulf Coast money line plus 102. Those are 1.5-unit plays, except for the Loyola play, which is a 2-banger. So get on it. Let's cash some tickets. Let's dominate the board. And as always, let's keep dancing. Bang.